Now that we know how to find quartiles, we can form a graphical display called a box plot here. The way that you form a box plot is you first compute your median and your quartiles, and then the box in your plot extends between Q1 and Q3, between the quartiles. So your box is between quartiles. And then your whiskers in the box and whisker plot go from the edge of the box to the max and min values as long as they're not outliers. So let's look at an example. Let's draw a box and whisker plot for this temperature data. These are temperatures, degrees Fahrenheit. They are in order. We're going to identify outliers with a dot. So that's pretty common, a dot or an asterisk. Okay, so first thing we need to do is compute our median and our quartiles. Okay, so well, this data is already in order. There are 2, 4, 6, 8 values. So 4 in the lower half, 4 in the upper half. That's half of 8 is 4. And so our median here, x tilde, or m if you want, is going to be the average of the two middles. So 24 plus 40, and then divide by 2, which is 32. Q1 is the median of the lower half of the data. So here's the lower half, and the median of the lower half will be the average of those two values. So Q1 is going to be 5 plus 10, average of the two middles, divide by 2, 7.5. Q3, median of the upper half. So there's 4 values in the upper half. That means 2 middles here. So 51 plus 68 get averaged. Which is 59.5 if you do the calculator work there. And then we have to see what the cutoffs are for outliers here. So we've got Q1 minus 1.5 times the IQR. And then we want to figure Q3 plus 1.5 times the IQR. So those are the cutoffs for outliers, at least potential outliers. And then your IQR is going to be the difference between the quartiles. I'll go ahead and write that up here. So IQR is equal to 59.5 minus 7.5, which is 52. So we have 7.5 is our Q1 minus 1.5 times 52. And then our Q3 is 59.5. And add 1.5 times 52. We'll compute those on the calculator. So we've got 7.5 plus 1.5 times 52 is 85. Or I'm sorry, we should be subtracting there. 7.5 minus 1.5 times 52, negative 70.5. And then 59.5 plus 1.5 times 52, 137.5. So negative 70.5, 137.5. So we don't have any values less than negative 70, but we do have one value greater than 137.5. Oh, no, I'm sorry, we don't. 82 is our largest value. So all our values are in between these cutoffs. So we aren't going to have any outliers on our box and whisker plot. So let's go ahead and draw that box and whisker. So we are going to stretch out a number line here. And we're going to scale that number line from, we got to get from 2 to 82. So I would say probably 0 to 90 here. So 0, Let's do 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90. So scaled off in tens here. So we are going to draw our box. Our box is going to go from 7.5 to 59.5. So 7.5, this is 10. So 7.5 would start about right here. And it's going to go up to 59.5 and end at just shy of 60 right there. So there's our box. And this is 7.5 here. And then this is the 59.5 here. We're going to mark off our median, which is 32. So 10, 20, 32, about right here. And then our whisker is going to go from the 59.5 up to the max of 82. So this is 60, 70, 80. 82 would be about right there. We'll extend the whisker out on the right to the 82. And then our minimum value that's not an outlier is 2. That would be about right here. And then extend the whisker from the left-hand side of the box out to the minimum, since neither one of them are outliers. That is our box and whisker plot. Now we can do this on the calculator also. So here are the calculator commands. You are going to do stat edit, enter the data into list 1, and then stat 1 variable stats, highlight calculate, press enter. Second y equal enter is going to give you a stat plot, and then you turn that on. Highlight your box plot picture and press enter. Then press the graph button and zoom 9 to get an appropriate window. So let's go through those steps here. So I have already entered the data in here. So once you enter the data in, we are going to go to stat and then arrow to calc. And then we want our 1 variable stats, which is the default. So we'll press enter. And list 1 is the list that we want. We'll come down to calculate, press enter. So you compute your 1 variable stats there. And now you want to go to second y equal. So that accesses the stat plot menu. We can see that the first stat plot is on and the others are off. If that was not the case, you would just press enter here and you'd arrow over and highlight the on and press enter. And then we are going to do a box and whisker plot. So we'll come down here to graph type. We'll go across to the box and whisker along with the 2 little dots because that shows outliers. And we'll press enter to highlight that. So come down, X list should be list 1. Our frequency is just 1. Marker there is fine. So now we're going to press the graph button. And there's our box and whisker plot. However, it's not all in the display. So press the zoom button and then do number 9, zoom stat. So that zooms to an appropriate window. And we can see that this does look very similar to what we graphed here. Just can't read the underlying scale. Oh, and then also notice that when we did 1 variable stats here, that our values did agree with what we calculated by hand. There's our Q1 of 7.5, median 32, Q3 of 59.5. So these are the numbers, these last 5 numbers in 1 variable stats that you need to calculate your box and whisker plot.